Today we are doing 8.4, solving equations by inspection. Our question is, how many squares can we make with 28 toothpicks? If we look at our pictures, the diagrams that are given, they give us three diagrams. In the first one, there's one square. In the second one, there's two squares. In the third one, there's three squares. When we create our chart with the term number and the amount of toothpicks, the term number would be the same as the amount of squares. So in term number 1, or with one square, we need 4 toothpicks. In term number 2, or with two squares, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 toothpicks. And with term number 3, or 3 squares, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total toothpicks. So the first thing we have to find out is our algebraic expression. If you look at the pattern in the amount of toothpicks, you'll notice that it increases by 3 each time. 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. When you are creating an algebraic expression, the difference between the numbers, as long as it stays the same, becomes the number that you multiply your variable by. So we can start off with 3n. Now, if n represents the number of squares, so for this example, we'll have 1 represent n. 3 times 1 would be 3, and in order to get to 4, we would have to add 1 more. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. In our second term number, or with two squares, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And we do have 7 toothpicks here. And in our third term number, or with 3 squares, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. And we do have 10 toothpicks in our third term. So now that we figured out our algebraic expression, which is 3n plus 1, now we want to know from the question, how many squares can we make with 28 toothpicks? So remember, the amount of squares is our variable. And the amount of toothpicks is our answer. So in this question, we have 3n. 3n plus 1 is our algebraic expression, equals 28, the total number of toothpicks we need. So two things we have to do in this equation. First thing is we have to isolate the variable. Isolate the variable means you want the variable n all by itself. In order to do that, you have to perform mathematical operations to get rid of the numbers on the left side of the equation. So for example, first we have plus 1. In order to cancel out the plus 1, whatever we do to the left side, we can do to the right side. So if we were to put 3n plus 1, subtract 1, equals 28, subtract 1, we can see that the positive 1, the plus 1 and the subtract 1 will cancel out and give us 0. And all you are left with is the 3n, and 28 subtract 1 would give you 27. Now you have to ask yourself, what is the 3 doing to the n? When there is no symbol in between it is multiplication. So 3n plus 1 is the same as writing 3 multiplied by n plus 1. So because the 3 is multiplying the n, in order to get rid of the 3, you will do the opposite. The opposite of multiplication is division. And as long as you do the same thing to both sides, you are allowed to add it into an equation. So we are adding 3n divided by 3 equals 27 divided by 3. The 3 on the numerator and the 3 in the denominator will cancel each other out, leaving you with just the variable n. And then you will just solve 27 divided by 3 will give you 9. And therefore, going back to our question, how many squares can we make with 28 toothpicks? We can make 9 squares with 28 toothpicks. Let's do one more example with these questions. So let's say you had the question 2n minus 1 equals 13. And you want to solve for n. So remember, 2n minus 1 is the same as writing 2 multiplied by n, subtract 1, equals 13. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of the subtract 1. In order to do that, we will do the opposite. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. So you will have 2 multiplied n, subtract 1, plus 1 equals 13 plus 1. All we've done is we've added a plus 1 to each side of our equation. The plus 1 and the subtract 1 on the left side will cancel out, leaving us with just the 2n, and 13 plus 1 will give us 14. Next you ask yourself, what is the 2 doing to the n? And it is multiplying. The opposite of multiplication is division. So if we do 2n divided by 2 equals 14 divided by 2, this will give us 2 and 2 will cancel out, leaving just the n. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So therefore, if we go back to our question, we double check, 2n subtract 1 equals 13. If we substitute our 7 for our n, which we've already calculated, 2 times 7 subtract 1 should equal 13. 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract 1. 14 subtract 1 is 13. Thank you for watching.